Hello, everybody. In today's episode, in today's training, I'm actually going to be talking about hormone patterns and why that is super important if you're wanting to actually address the root causes of hormone imbalance. So, thank you so much for listening. I'm going to be talking about some common questions that I get about hormone imbalances, specifically these different subsets of symptoms that we typically see that really can point us to specific root causes and prevent you from going on that wild goose chase of trying to, just manage your symptoms. So let's talk about what acne, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, headaches, and fatigue. I'd also throw in there low libido, what those all have in common. Because you may be looking at them as, just these individual, like constellation of symptoms, but really they are the fruit on this tree of, that's really pointing us to the root causes that you're experiencing. And so when we're looking at that particular subset of symptoms, and I'm going to be talking only about this category today, and then in a different episode, we'll be talking about some other symptom categories to help you identify maybe where you're sitting in this, symptom profile. But when we're looking at acne, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, especially like worsening of those symptoms right before your period, if you've ever been diagnosed with low progesterone, if you have, tend to have headaches or they worsen before your cycle, all of those symptoms actually point to a disconnection in our gut brain connection. And I would actually call that the gut brain ovary connection, because your digestive tract needs to be communicating to your pituitary gland, and your pituitary gland needs to be communicating to your ovaries in order to make not only the neurotransmitters that you need to be making, those happy mood chemicals that we need to feel well all month long, but to normalize digestion, make sure that things are moving through the digestive tract appropriately because we detox through our digestion, and be able to make the hormones that we need to make. So a lot of times when somebody goes to a doctor, they might be saying, I'm having all of these symptoms. The doctor does some labs and the labs show something, what I would say most typically is low progesterone. They might notice some low progesterone or mildly low progesterone and say, oh, it's the progesterone that's the problem. But really, it's not progesterone that's the problem. Progesterone is about, is a downstream problem, which means that upstream from that, there are typically 3 or 4 pretty significant issues happening in the body that are preventing the production of progesterone, okay? So progesterone is not the issue. If you feel better while you're taking progesterone, that is a stopgap to actually addressing the root causes, but it's definitely not the root cause. And it's typically why a lot of women experience, if they go on progesterone, whether that be a cream, a tincture, a pill, birth control, what have you, they might feel better for 3 to 4 months and then like kind of nosedive again. And that's typically because, again, we have addressed, the surface level problem, not the root issue. And the other important thing to note about this is that our hormones work in communication with each other. So there's no way to supplement with progesterone without addressing the root causes, without it then negatively impacting all of the other hormones.
Do you struggle with low energy in the morning, afternoon fatigue, and often find yourself grabbing another cup of coffee or soda just to get through the day? If that's you, then you may be doing more harm to your stress hormones, mood, and sleep than you think. While caffeine from coffee gives you a nice boost of energy initially, it depletes your adrenal glands of essential nutrients that are responsible for supporting healthy sleep and stress patterns. This is is why I recommend Rasa Adaptogenic Super Functional Tea. This robust blend of adaptogenic herbs not only gives you sustained energy, it nourishes your adrenal glands, your immune system, and supports lower cortisol, which leads to overall improvement in your nervous system health, balanced mood, and better sleep. This robust blend of herbs actually tastes like coffee, and it comes from the cacao plant, as well as all of those different adaptogenic herbs that are super delicious. You won't even miss your cup of coffee in the morning. Make sure to grab yours for 15% off at wearerasa.com using the code Abundant Wellness with Andrea.
In your body. And that is typically when we see things like, again, a rebound of symptoms, a resurgence of symptoms that creep up where it's like, gosh, I was feeling so good for like 2 to 3 months. And then, bloating comes back, digestive changes, mood swings, irritability, fatigue, all of that stuff creeps in. That's typically why that happens. So when I am, assessing somebody on a breakthrough call or a consultation, I'm looking not just at, what is their period like? Is most women will say when I ask that question, they'll say, "Oh, my period's normal." Well, tell me what is normal for you, because if you're saying, that my period is 5 to 6 days, it's spotty on both ends. I might have one day of really heavy bleeding. And then, a totally normal flow, then my next question will be, what are your symptoms like leading up to your period? Because if you're having mood swings, if you're having fatigue, you're having irritability, you're having anxiety, you're having insomnia, like I said, those digestive changes, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, fatigue, all of that really does indicate that there is a significant issue in that gut-brain-ovary communication, and we need to address those by addressing the root causes in order to really resolve that problem. And so if you have noticed, like, gosh, I've tried every acne cream, I've been on acne medication, I've tried probiotics, I've done, all of those things, what acne is telling us is that, that your body's not actually clearing out toxins through its primary detox pathways. Your body is going to follow the path of least resistance, which means, primarily we're going to try to digest, get things moving out of the body through our urine, through our poop. And then it's going to try to filter whatever's not filtering through those organs, through the liver. And then if that doesn't work, it's going to try and filter through the lungs and then the skin. And so your skin is the last organ to detoxify, which means if you have stuff coming out of your skin, it has tried to go through all of those other detox pathways, and it's not working properly. So this is why when people say, what do I need to do to fix my acne? It's a little bit more complex than just apply this new cream or try this new tea. We need to make sure that all of those different detoxification pathways are working properly. So if you're having these symptoms, if you're having the mood swings, if you're having the irritability, the bloating, acne, fatigue, low libido, then what we need to do is identify which part of the puzzle is not working properly for you, which piece in that picture is missing. Because, like I said, if you have tried, probiotics, if you've tried progesterone, if you've tried all of these different things and it's not getting you the results that you're looking for, then there's a really good chance that there are some pieces that need to be adjusted and tweaked to support the overall detoxification of your body so that it's not coming out through your skin. But also we need to make sure that we're not ignoring those symptoms just because our physician says they're normal. And just because maybe other women say, oh yeah, I totally have bloating right before my period, or I'm totally crampy, or I always have constipation, or I always have diarrhea. Just because that's normalized or it's common doesn't mean it's normal. It's actually an indicator that things are not moving through your digestive tract appropriately. There's inflammation going on. That inflammation, if you think about it, becomes a barrier to absorbing nutrients. And if we're not absorbing nutrients, we're not able to get the vitamins and minerals that our hormones need to function appropriately, right? And if that happens, we don't have the building blocks to actually make those happy mood chemicals that we need to feel like we want to be with our partner, or that we are happy and excited for life and energized and not snapping and absolutely losing our minds at our families, right? So we may think, or maybe even your doctor has told you, you just need to go on an antidepressant or an anti-anxiety medication, but that's not usually, in most cases, it is not the fix. It is not the long-term solution because, again, if you're not making neurotransmitters, we need to be looking at what's happening in the digestive tract, what's happening, potentially with some vagus nerve stuff that's, if we're not connecting between our gut and our brain, that's going to be a really big problem. And so if you're having these symptoms, number one, I want to invite you to our upcoming workshop. I will post the link below where I'm going to be going into way more detail on what all of these symptoms mean. But number two, if you are ready to get rid of your symptoms and you are tired of feeling stuck, you're tired of feeling controlled by your mood, your irritability, your anxiety, insomnia, bloating, constipation, the constant up and down of your moods, and just in general not feeling like yourself, then I want to invite you to schedule a hormone breakthrough call with me, which I will also link below. This is a great time for us to dialogue about what's working for you, what's not working for you, what you've tried before. It's really important for me as a practitioner that I understand the things that you have done, because I want to make sure that what I offer is different than those things, that we're filling in the gaps. We're not just guessing what you need to be doing. We really do need to make sure that, we are addressing those things appropriately. So if that's you, then I will, please feel free to comment below that that's what you want, and I will make sure to get the link over to you to schedule that time where we can really dive into what is contributing to your hormones, what is contributing to the symptoms that you're having. If your goal is to get off of birth control or mood stabilizing medication, then that's something that we can also discuss, the right timing for that and how to support your body as your body makes those changes. So I hope that this was helpful for you. If you are having, symptoms of acne, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, mood swings, irritability, low libido or low progesterone, those are not just random symptoms. They all point to that bigger root cause of really needing to focus on healing the gut-brain connection. So I want to invite you to join the workshop next week where I'm going to be actually showing you how to fix that. And of course, you can schedule a one-on-one time to book a breakthrough call with me by commenting below. So thank you so much for listening.